Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. And on today's episode of 1-800 We Need Traction, right here I'm gonna be building this GM 8.5 10-bolt rear end going in this thing right here. Yes, it's going in the truck. So man, I searched high, I searched low. I'm talking about I dug deep to find this rear end. This is a factory 10-bolt 8.5 out of a first gen Blazer 2-wheel drive 5-speed V6 truck. So it is the factory width of the 10-bolt 7.5 for a first gen S10 truck, which is why I picked this rear end. Y'all excuse God's work. He got the thunder and the lightning going on outside. So I normally don't even make videos like this, but I'm gonna make this one just to show, I guess, those at home that like to do stuff themselves, man. If you don't already know, you can see from this video right here, maybe you can learn a thing or two. So basically on this housing, I'm rebuilding the entire housing. So right here, this is a race. It's not even in yet. This is a new race. I've already installed that one before I decided to make this video because I do so many of these. So I say, why not just make one? But anyway, this is the race. It sits in here like this. Now, if you're at home and you're trying to build a rear end, remove the old races and install new ones, basically all you do is, to get the race out down there, you hit it from this end. To get this race out, you flip the rear end over and you knock it out. What these does is, a lot of times you hear rear ends when you're going down the street, you hear a roaring noise. Depending on if you have the right clearance, the roaring is either going to be when you let off the accelerator pedal or when you grab the accelerator pedal. That means your pinion nut has loosened up. But if your pinion nut is tight and you hear roaring, it's because the bearing in the race is worn out. Now this one, I don't know much about it, so that's why I'm replacing them. But what you do is, if you're at home, you knock your race out, you take your old race, put it right on top of that one. It's gonna fit right down on it. Put that one on like so. Now there's two ways you can do this. If you got a big enough socket, which I have just for hitting things on like that, stick it right here, like so, and you can tap it down in there. If you don't have a big enough socket, then you can take, for instance, showing y'all, a smaller socket. Place it across long ways and you hit the socket up here. That's way you're seating your race down in there flat and flush. All right, moving right along. Now, I had to order some axles because I called Moser, I want to say, was that Yukon? And I think Summit had some axles. They were like 400 an axle. And everybody said that they had to make these axles when this is a factory 30 spline GM rear end. For some reason, they didn't have the factory axles. So I had to order these. Shout out to USA Standard Gears. I don't know how good your product is, but we're gonna give it a try. Now this is their product out of the box. It is a 30 spline axle. It's supposed to meet or exceed OEM. Some of the axles are made of 4340 chrome moly, which is very, very strong. But we're gonna give these a try. So it comes with studs and lug nuts, but of course I'm swapping them out to Moser studs. I think these are 2.5 inches long. And basically, if you guys have axles and they don't have the stud and they press ends, I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. You just take the axle, you put it in the drum, you sit the drum up around the ground, line the holes up from your drum and your axle, place them in. You can give them a whop or two, or they sell a tool where you screw it on the front side of the axle and you can put it on that way. There's many ways to do it. I have the tool to do it that way. This is my car. I started out like this in the driveway. It ain't gonna bother me. If you spend the money, 9 times out of 10, we'll probably go with screw and studs, and I do it that way. But I'm just doing this video specifically for those who like to do this stuff at home, don't have all your basic tools. So I'm showing you this way. Moving right along. Now this is an old Richmond gear that I had on the shelf probably about 9 years. And it had some bearings and races in it. So I'm specifically using this for the ring gear bolts. It was never open. So I said, oh, got some bolts. We done had them 9 years and ain't used them. We're gonna use them today. I also had a old shim kit for an 8.5. I opened it up, saw what I had in here. Got a bunch of shims. I'm gonna need those. We ain't used those in a while, so we're gonna use these. This will be the shim, the pinion gear, and the ring gear. Now I did have to purchase a brand new seal for the rear end. I also had to purchase carrier bearings from a posi unit. So I also ordered a quick performance ring and pinion gear, and I ordered, let's see, what's that on? I ordered a, I'm not sure who this is from, but basically all this is a Detroit. This is like a Detroit True Track posi unit. It's made from the same construct. I mean, it's exactly the same. It's an identical part number. But I ordered this thing off Amazon, and I actually saved a couple bucks on it, man. So got our fingers crossed there. But it's the same exact part number that I run in all of the other cars. For some reason, by this being a factory Timbo, no one carries the parts in stock. They saying everything had to be custom made for it. Why? I don't know. Maybe because it's very rare. But I have everything that I need right here to build this ring. Oh, last but not least, these right here are my cow trap bars that I also have to install. I think I'm replacing the axle bearing seals and the axle bearings. I'm gonna put all new drums. All new brake shoes and drums. And I wanna say this about it. The most I might do to this is I may weld up the axle tubes, but that's probably about it. Like I say, I have aftermarket. These are 30 spline axles, and they should hold up to what I'm doing with this particular engine in this truck. So we're gonna see what it does. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get this rear end together. Hopefully I can finish it up today. And if I can, may get it placed under the truck. I still gotta wait on my leaf springs to come so I can change the leaf springs out, jack it up, remove the leaf springs, and then pull this rear end out, and then put these tires on here and roll the other one under the truck, get it jacked up in there, and we're gonna see what we can do there. But yeah, man, this is for the basic guy at home, want to build his rear end, don't have certain tools. It can be done. That's what you'll need to make it work. So I'm finna get to work, and we're gonna get this thing up under here, man. Y'all stay tuned. All right, y'all, and we back. And as you can see, I have a mess. Man, when I tell y'all, I'm tired. But I gotta give y'all some updates on where we at with the truck, what we got going, how I got to this point, and what we gotta do to move forward. So as you can see right here, I have disc brakes on the rear. Now, when I say this has been a real pain, it has been a real pain. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. So, with all the suspension parts that I showed y'all earlier, I've been mocking everything up, getting everything going. And I've been working on this about 2 days straight, all day for 2 days. It feels like 48 hours, but it's, God, wait, bud. But it's probably been half of that, a total of 2 days, 24 hours, man. So let's dig right in. Let me turn this on. Let me get you up on there. Let me show y'all what we're working with. And I'm gonna explain why I had to do what I'm doing on the truck. So, as you can see on this side, I started out with drum brakes. So, like I said before, this is a Timbo 8.5, originally out of a 2-wheel drive Blazer. It's a 30 spline rear. Originally drum brakes. The backing plates had so much rust from where the rear end just sat outside for about 5 years before I got it. The brake drums, which are these, were dang near seized up on the brake shoe. I'm talking about when I took it apart, everything came off as a solid unit, fell apart. Okay, no problem, let's get a brake kit ordered. I was gonna stay drums. You know, drums, disc brakes, it really doesn't matter to me. Getting the parts for the drum brakes was the issue. I said, man, this can't be that hard. So, I said, let me try disc brakes. Not knowing disc brakes was gonna be just as difficult as far as time. So, in order for me to be able to work on my own vehicle, I have to do it on the time where I'm not working on customer cars. So I was trying to get this done really in 1 day, and it's been 2. And if I don't finish tonight, it'll be 3 days. So let me help y'all, just in case anybody's considering doing this, you'll know what to look for. So What I had to do was, since I couldn't get a kit, everything had to be ordered, and I'm trying to finish it today. Went to the junkyard. Now, this is a backing plate off of a 7.5 rear end out of a 99 Blazer, which they said will not work on an 8.5 housing. And that's somewhat true, but y'all know me, I had to try it and see. Especially by me wanting to go ahead and finish the truck. So what I did was I took the backing plate with me to the junkyard. I had to go out there. I spent a whole hour taking this rusty thing apart just to try my drum backing plate onto that 7.5 rear end. And the only reason I tried it is because I seen that this section right here bolted up to the rear end, to the axle flange. So when I did that, my backing plate worked. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try this. So I took this off, brought it back to the shop. When I put this piece on here, nothing lined up. And I mean, when I say nothing, as far as trying to get the rotors that went to the vehicle that I took all this off of, it didn't work because it was a 4-wheel drive truck. So the axle flanges were longer, the rear end was longer. All the geometry was off. So I'm gonna just show y'all what I did, just in case somebody considering going disc brake with a Timbo 8.5. And what I did was I took the calipers from a 99 Blazer, 2-wheel drive. I took the rear disc rotor from a 99 2-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive won't work too long. Now, a lot of people say you can use the calipers and rotors off of a Camaro. I did a 99 Camaro. The rotor was too short, meaning this way, width-wise. So the main thing you have to do is get your rotor center in your caliper bracket. And all I had to do to make this work was, once I figured out the correct rotor that got close to being centered and the correct caliper, I took this plate, I took me 2 of these good old lock washers. This is about what, maybe a 1/4 inch thick. And right now I only have it mocked up, so it's only 2 behind it. But what I did was flipped it over, put 1 here, and I put 1 here just to center it on the hub straight. But it's gonna be 4 behind it. And that right there, 1/4 inch spacing this forward, set my rotor center on my brake caliper. Now, let's go on here and show you, because I done took this apart and been mocking it up about 62 times. I'm sick of looking at rear ends today. Now we're up under the truck. You can see right here, I got my Detroit True Track. Right now, everything is still just in the mock-up stage. I got the C-clips in, I got the center pin in to hold the axles in place so that I can get my geometry right over there to make sure all that is correct. And it is. And man, I spent a lot of time messing with these cow track bars and trying to get those things lined up. So I got everything pretty much sent where I wanted to be. These are Lawrence Springs, Summit Lawrence Springs, 3-inch Lawrence Springs. I removed the helper leaf. That was a bad idea, so I ended up having to put it back, because when I put the truck on its own weight, it was looking like a lowrider truck. I didn't like the look, so I had to put that back. So yeah, man, this has just been a real pain, but I'm almost there. I'm almost done. I still got some more stuff to do under the truck. Once I get everything settled, I'm gonna put it on the lift, and I'm gonna clean all this stuff up under here, pressure wash it. I'm gonna undercoat all this stuff, and yeah, man, that's where we at with it. So I'm gonna get it from up under here. I'm gonna get everything cleaned up, painted up how I want it, man, and I'm gonna show y'all the finished product once I.
In my 2-seater, T-toss out with the music beat. SMP got motor geeking, 24 bullets on top when you see me. Candy paint when she see it. Cruising through the city, laid back on the weekend.
All right, y'all, it's about 3:15 in the morning. Just now finishing up with everything. And this is the last little small minor detail, man, that I've been debating about. So these fender flares originally come on the Blazers, and they come on certain models of the S10s, man. And I like them, you know what I'm saying, because it kind of gives it a little more sporty, aggressive look. And I'm trying to kind of going after like the Cyclone look, so to speak, man. So I don't know what y'all think about these right here on the truck, man. And if I did put these on, y'all think we should leave them black or should I paint them to color match the truck? Kind of torn in between the two. I say black though if I do go this route. I think we're gonna try them and test fit them. I put one up to the truck, but these came off a Blazer and the holes don't quite line up, so I gotta drill new holes. So yeah, that's over with for the night. Well, the morning. And go home, give me about 4 or 5 hours sleep. I'm gonna come back, finish everything up, and we're gonna see what these look like on the truck.